Yo, fake radio. We back. Special guest in the building. Introduce yourself.
Yo, my name is Huggyduzit. You can call me Huggy. I'm on all social platforms at Huggyduzit.
Huggyduzit.
Yep.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
So why the name Huggyduzit? Where did that originate from?
I went through a couple names. I've been making music for a long time.
Yeah.
I was in bands and stuff, and then when I started making like rap, one of my first rap names was Nostalgic.
Got you.
But I was producing as well, and my producer name was Huggy Bear.
Huggy Bear?
Yeah,
okay.
And that was from, like, have you seen the movie Starsky and Hutch? Yeah.
A while ago,
Classic,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg plays Huggy Bear.
Right, yeah.
And Snoop Dogg's just one of my favorite artists forever.
Yeah.
And I forever was like, why is no one using Huggy? Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. And then Huggyduzit. That's good. That's like a catchphrase, like Huggy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huggyduzit low-key came from, like, a merch idea that I had. Because I saw some, like, really cool merch for, like, Easy Does It. And I'm a big fan of, like, Eazy-E, too. Like, the whole Easy Does It thing. And then I was like, you know what? Huggyduzit is, like, it was my handle at first.
Yeah.
And then I think on streaming, there's a couple other artists already that have, like, Huggy. Or, like, there's maybe, like, a DJ. Like, no one significant. But I was like, to separate myself, I'll do Huggyduzit for now, and then eventually I'll probably lose the Does It, but for now it's,
Yeah, and you got that fucking kids game, Huggy Wuggy.
Yeah, I know exactly. So when you type Huggy, it's like many other things come up.
I was like, oh, Huggy Wuggy, like
Huggyduzit is nice because like you search that and it's me.
Yeah, it's you. Yep, that's what you need. So you've been in bands for a while.
Dude, I played guitar for every day almost for like 10 years. Like in high school, I was the kid that brought a guitar to school all the time. And I was in like a bunch of pop punk bands. I was in a jazz band.
That's cool.
Some like metalish stuff.
And then what made you transition into the kind of rap singing?
I've always listened to hip hop. Like
you're from LA, like
I'm from Fresno,
right? Yeah.
California, and then I've lived all up and down California. So I've spent like 4 or 5 years in the IE.
Yep.
Spent a year or two in the Valley, and now I'm just LA.
Cool.
But yeah, I've been a student of music forever. One of the first albums that I have like a memory of a relationship with was the Slim Shady LP.
Yep.
Different times now, but you know, I listen to rap before I ever got into like anything else.
Got you.
And then I've just come and go in like phases of listening to stuff, you know. Yeah. I think going into hip hop though was easier for me. It was a smarter decision because I didn't have to rely on people like a band. Like musicians are so unreliable at times.
Yeah. For sure. And so then, you dropped your first project last year?
I did, yeah. Anyway,
right. And got a few bops on that. I know you were releasing a new music video for one of the songs on the Don't in like a week, right? Yeah. So what made you kind of decide to go back to that? Because you have another project out.
Yeah, well, the way I looked at it, like, I made a bunch of really quality music last year. Yeah. And I was really excited to put it out, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to rush any sort of, like, promotion with these albums because I want to get them out and have a body of music for people to listen to get familiar with. And then I was looking at it in terms of, like, okay, these albums came out 3 months apart. Yeah. I can continue to promote them for the next year. It's not like I'm a big artist. I need to worry about first week sales or streams or anything. I can promote these, you know, into the next year or two, and they'll be all right.
Solid. Yeah. And you got a music video for that song Khloe. That's a great music video.
Thank you.
Way. Yeah, it's cool. It's like a story. I was like,
thanks.
This is cool. So what's the story of Khloe? How'd that song come about?
I got brothers. I have 2 brothers and a cousin. And at the time when I wrote Khloe, my youngest brother and my cousin were both dating a girl named Khloe.
That's funny.
Yeah, at the same time. Both of them, different girls named Khloe, and both of them were, like, the clingiest girlfriend ever. Like, my cousin came through to my house. He hasn't been there in years, right? And the whole time he's there, he's on FaceTime with this girl for, like, 3 days straight. Wow. And I'm talking, like, this dude is on FaceTime, goes into the bathroom, and comes out still on FaceTime. Yeah. Type shit, where I'm like, yo, could you, like, let my cousin hang out with us for a little bit? So I went to the studio, and I wanted to make something just that was, like, the bass was, like, the lead instrument. I wanted something vibey, very bass heavy. Yeah. And I just wrote about a clingy girlfriend named Khloe. Yeah. And, that's one of my favorite songs for sure.
Yeah. And who did the visuals on that? Was that
well, I did the treatment for it, so I like wrote it, and then good friend Freddie Sandoval, he filmed it, edited it.
And are those all your fits? Like you did the wardrobe? Yeah, there's a lot of different outfit.
Yeah, I had the babushka in that, which is such a funny thing. Like, I think my fiance had gotten that for me like a month before. I can't even remember the occasion. It was like, she like so random. She got this thing for me. I'm like, oh, babe, I don't know how she thought I would use it. But I was like, yo, like, this is the look. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, that was perfect for what that was. Yeah, it was a good choice.
Thank you.
There's a cat right there.
Yeah.
You got the song Hood Rats. That's another great song. What's the story of that? Like,
Thank you.
About,
Honestly, okay, like, for all of the songs on Anyway and Nevermind, we went into the studio, and for each of these songs, honestly, it's like the least amount of effort or like thinking that I've ever put into songs. It was like we'd link up in the studio, we just talk about like, yo, how are you feeling? We talk for like an hour and a half. Just me and the producer Saie, great producer.
Yeah, Saie does most of your stuff.
He did all of the stuff on these 2 albums.
Got you.
Yeah, he did all
tag like a few times.
Yeah, he's a great producer.
Yep.
We would just link up and just like talk and get on the same wavelength, and then just be like, okay, this is kind of the vibe that I'm feeling, and we would create. And all of those songs were done like more or less in just one sitting.
Cool.
Which was cool. So Hood Rats, it was like, I remember it was super rainy that day. And we actually recorded that on like a 8-track recorder from like the 70s, like on film.
Yeah.
We recorded one instrument at a time, and we were just having fun. We were just like, let's do something vibey, like kind of reggae a little, and you know.
Yeah, I've noticed a few of your songs have that kind of worldwide influence to it. Yeah. And is that you on the like the higher pitched? Got you. That's what's up. And I'm a Dip is another one I really
Thanks, man. I was trying to just like rap on that one. Like I feel like I have my base in rap and like real and I was just thinking about this on the way here, like the era of rap that I grew up in was such an old head era where like the way of thinking of like an old head was like what was in at that time. So like you know, real rapidy rap, and that's always what I like kind of aspired to be, and I've lost that a little over time, which is I think a good thing. Like I don't want to be just like a rapidy rap. I want to make quality songs that people want to listen to on a Sunday. You know? But I do love to just like still, you know, do my thing on a rap record and like prove that like, you know, I can rap with the best.
No, for sure. Who would you say are your like top influences when it comes to the rap?
That's a big question, and the way I listen to music now is different than it used to be. But I'll say some of like my influences growing up were like Ludacris, Andre 3000,
got you,
Eminem, obviously, DMX, like all the classics. I've literally studied hip hop, and then now I'm really digging like Smino, J. Cole, Kendrick, Tizo Touchdown. Love Tizo right now. Are
you a Kyle fan?
I am a Kyle fan. Yeah, I fuck with Kyle.
Catch that.
Sorry, I can cuss, right?
No. Cuss
right, cool. Yeah.
Word. And then you got the new album with songs like Always Sunny. It's a little you know different. How would you say your like music style evolved with the two?
The two projects, I feel like it matured a little bit. I think Anyway was just a lot of fun, and like I said, we weren't putting much thought into those records. It was just like, let's get to the studio and have some fun today, and whatever happens happens. And then Nevermind was some of the same, but I would say with those songs, Nevermind is more of like a mental health record. That album is like all 8 of those songs more or less tie into like mental health and living better, like letting things go, not thinking too hard about things. You know?
Cool. And I know you're part of Hangout Records with the homie Nevi, who's also been on the show. How'd you kind of come around those guys?
Man,
how'd that come about?
I met Nevi at a show in 2020. Maybe it was 2020. Because you know what? Actually, I think it was before the pandemic, I think.
Right before, like 2020, right before that?
I think it was right before. I met him at a show, and we were literally, like, I had performed at this show, and then I went to the next month of it just to be there. And I'm in the crowd. Nevi's in the crowd. I've never met this guy before, but we're both watching the guy on stage, and we're both like vibing, just like hard. And we're just like, yo, right? Like, oh my god, this dude's tight. So we like connect that way, and then he hits me up maybe like a week or two later, and he's like, yo, like, we're gonna have these recording sessions, kind of like Revenge of the Dreamers, where we're gonna have like a bunch of artists, bunch of producers.
Okay,
come.
so it was you. Met
it was
like
the camp hangout.
Sessions.
You
met him like right before that.
Yep, that's and he invited me, and so that's when I met Sabi and like all those people. Yeah, and it was great. It was cool to get in the room, and then just like I started writing. Like I'm listening to beats in every room, writing and making relationships and. Been tight since then.
For sure. And y'all got like chemistry.
Yeah.
Stuff y'all do together. Word. I know you do comedy as well. I saw some of your stand up. What you just went on an open mic night?
So I'm very down for comedy. I always have been. I've always felt like I'm maybe not quite sad enough to be a stand up comic yet. Yeah. Because they're like some of the most depressed people I know.
No, for it. Yeah.
Right.
No.
But I got a bunch of homies that do comedy, and that show that I did stand up actually was low key an accident. Like they asked me to fill in on the show, and I'm like, yeah, cool. I didn't look at the details. Like 3 or 4 days before, I realized like, oh, they want me to do stand up. Yeah. And so I had like 3 or 4 days to write 5 minutes of stand up, and I could have just went out there and just winged it, but dude, I've studied stand up comics the same way I've studied music. So
who are your
like,
favorite stand up comedians?
Dave Chappelle, obviously. Killing Him Softly was like one of my favorite specials growing up. I'd watch like Eddie Murphy. I would just honestly, I would stay on the Comedy Central channel just growing up. It was just whoever was on. I'm like, I'm watching it. Cat Williams, like a bunch of great comics.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And
so then you went up and you went well.
It went well, I would say. Yeah, and I'm down to do more of it. Like I'm not pursuing it right now, but I do try to write. I'm writing every day. Like I write bars, and then if like I think of like content, jokes, whatever it is, like I'm writing it down. I try to be like prepared for things. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm definitely coming into things being like, let me give like my best quality of work in whatever I'm doing.
Yeah. No. People always say, because like I'd be doing podcasts, and sometimes they're like funny podcasts. People are like, you gotta do stand up. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. But I respect people who do, because that's a tall task for sure.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's daunting for sure.
Yeah, but it's good that you did it for the first time and it went well.
I know. I've heard so many people say that it goes really poorly the first time, and I'm like,
right. It's a new kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you? So you're a rap artist, but I notice a lot of like kind of singer-songwriter hooks and stuff like that. You said you were in bands.
Yeah.
Who would you say are your kind of outside of rap influences, kind of your songwriting?
I would say like in the modern time. Okay, like growing up, like just bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Green Day. Like,
are you a Fountains of Wayne fan?
I do fuck with Fountains of Wayne.
Okay,
like a little bit. They don't have like, I don't know that many of their songs, but I'm like Stacy's Mom and a couple classics. You know, like
some
the chill
music kind of reminds me of that.
That's tight. I'll take that. That's a good.
Yeah,
Stacy's Mom is a bop, and I could totally see that being. It's just like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a wholesome, like pop alternative lane.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
For real.
But then more recently, I'm really into like Dominic Fike, the Internet, Rex Orange County.
Yep.
You know, I listen to like a lot of different stuff.
Cool. So on Fake Radio, we got a game, a collab game.
Okay.
So choose one person who you know personally, who you've never done a song with, to do a song with, call them out, and then choose one person who you've never met, like dream collab to do.
I would say a person I haven't done a song with yet that I know is Pretty Papes.
Pretty Papes?
You know Pretty Papes?
I've not heard of him.
Dude, he's dope. He's a good ass rapper. He's popping. He just sold out the House of Blues.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I met him
LA House of Blues?
Anaheim.
Anaheim, got you.
Yeah, and he's a good ass dude. I met him on a Payday show, and I've had a few interactions with him. I've seen him here and there. Yeah. And we just haven't got a chance to get in the studio yet.
Got you.
But hi. Yeah, you should check out Pretty Papes, man. He's a good rapper.
Pretty Papes. And then who else? Dream collab. What would you say?
Dream collab. That's hard, man. I really want to work with everyone.
Yeah.
I wish I would have thought of this before because I'm like, oh, exactly what I was just talking about. Let me be prepared with like the most unexpected answer. But Dominic Fike would be like a really fun one, I think. That's cool. Or in the more rap space, like Smino or like Saba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Dominic Fike both got the you dye your hair.
We've had some similar looks for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Word. And then what do you plan? You got the music video coming out soon.
I do. That one. So like, okay, it's funny that you say it. So you saw that on my YouTube. I haven't announced that or anything yet.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, well, this will come out like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. Yeah. What's it called? I haven't announced that or anything yet.
Yeah.
Like we filmed it and wrapped it, and I have it like uploaded, ready to go. But right now, where I'm at, like, I have hours of music. Like I've been making music since like 2011. So like. I used to go on road trips to drive like home or whatever, and it's like 4-ish hours, give or take, to get home. And like 3 years ago, I finally was able to listen to just my music the whole trip home without repeating any songs.
That's lit.
So that was like 4. Now I have like probably 7-8 hours of music.
Cool.
So I'm going through that right now and picking all my favorite ones that have not been released because most of them haven't been.
Yeah. And
I'm making content for them. So I'm gonna start a rollout that's basically gonna be, I have like a folder of like 30 unreleased songs that are just more or less throwaways.
Yeah.
That are all getting content made for them right now. And I'm gonna release those consistently for a few months and sprinkle in some of the new stuff that I've been working on. In there as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And you got any shows coming up?
I have a show tomorrow. It's in Atascadero. I'm stoked.
Cool.
So I'm driving up to the Central Coast, trying to find an Airbnb with a hot tub, trying to cool out after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bet. And do you have a favorite song of yours?
Favorite song of mine?
Yeah.
My favorite song of mine that's released right now is probably Emotions. It's so low key, and that song.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Thank you. We made that song in a day, and it was like, trying to remember. It like we had a really emotional conversation.
Yeah.
And we were both kind of like drained that day. So we like I didn't even go in the booth to record it. He just handed me a mic, and I'm like, oh, let me just like. Basically, what you hear on that song, the vocal, is like the reference where I just recorded one take, like this is my idea.
Yeah.
And it just sounded so clean. We're like, just leave it. Like
this is up.
Yeah.
And so Sabi's produced all your stuff. What about his sound makes you kind of trust his?
He's really good at what he does.
Yeah.
He is the best person I know at mixing my own vocals and just musically. Like, I think we have a really good flow. He's about the same age that I am, so when we link up, it's like we have good conversation, and then he's been working on his craft just as long as I've been working on mine. And for him, like, the music theory and ability to like create with any instrument on command is just, I mean, it's amazing to sit and watch, like, let alone work with. But we just got a good flow, man.
Yeah, and you met him through Nevi?
I did, yeah.
This is up. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
No, of course, yeah. Shout out to Jimmy K Feds and the Squeak Squad. Yo, shout out. Free Palestine, always, of course.
All that.
And Huggy Does It, Rax Kills. We out.
Thank you.
Yes.